What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. I know it's been a long time since I made or posted a video on my YouTube channel, but we are finally back. I've just been really focusing on myself and my health, and it's been making me feel really good. But of course, I still have a love and passion for my car, so that's why we are back with another video. But for today's video, we're going to be putting the air suspension back on my car. I have my whole setup right here on the floor, which I'll get to in a bit. And as you guys can see, my car is already on jack stands. I had the wheels and coilovers taken off yesterday, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish it up today. If not, we will finish it tomorrow. But this will be all in one video, and I'll show you guys step by step how to install the the air suspension. So let's go ahead and get started. So if you guys do buy the kit, it will come with everything that you will need, like the air struts, the compressor, the tank, and everything. So if you do get a kit, you guys go ahead, work with what you get, but I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to be running. So basically I have my 4 struts, my tank, my 2 compressors, air lines right here, my manifold, gauge, and I am also going to be running this kill switch, which I'm going to be connecting to the 2 compressors, so that way if something happens like a spark or a fire, I could just flip the switch and it'll turn off and on and whatnot to be on the safe side. So let's get to the paddle switches and the manifold and whatnot. So I guess you can say these paddle switches are entry level. You will need to run a gauge like that one here, and a lot more airlines compared to like airlift. So basically it's just, switches air up and down. For those that are wondering, will these make that whoosh sound that everybody loves that goes psh every time you air down? No, these will not make that sound when you're standing outside the car. That is why I got this one, which I'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, this is entry level. These just manual paddle switches, the cheapest way. So this is called a manifold. I guess you can call this the brain of the whole entire air suspension kit, because this is what air controls your air basically. So I think that is pretty much everything. Like I said, you will need a gauge. I think I'm going to be using this one today, and then a bunch of fittings. Oh, and you will need a relay if you're buying everything separately, but if you get the kit, it will already come with a relay. So you will need a relay for each compressor. So I have 2 relays right here, which I'll show you guys how to install as well. So 2 4-pin relays for 2 of the compressors. So I think that's pretty much everything. So like I said, I already got the car ready. So first we are going to run the airlines through the car, and after that we can go ahead and install these struts. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so just a quick tip. I'm going to be running the front first. So you want to make sure both sides are equally the same when you're running both the airlines. So I believe these 2 are from a while ago that I used for the front. So I'm just going to head and make sure they're both equally the same. So I just grab both of them like that and just hold it and just pull down. Alright, so just like that. So as you guys can see, this one is just a little short, which is totally okay. Just try to make them as equal as possible. So I got these 2. I think these 2 are from a while ago, so I'm just going to go ahead and run these ones to the back. So let's go. Alright guys, so I already got all 4 corners ran. This is the front of the car. I'm just going to show you guys something really important about the front. So let me see if I could turn on my light. There we go. So first things first, if you guys see this marking right here on the bag, that is because it is rubbing against the spindle on the back when you air out. So there's I guess there's only one way to prevent it fully, is to get adjustable upper control arms, which is this piece right here. But the only downfall of that is you won't sit as low as you would with the stock one, simply because the aftermarket or the adjustable upper control arms, it will fully max out somewhere up here, a lot higher than the stock ones. So what I did is, as you guys can see right here on the spindle, there's like a really sharp, looks like a weld of some type. So what I did on the back is I completely smoothed it out, so it does not have this sharp line rubbing against the bag itself. So let me see if I can show you guys that. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, I completely grinded it down. I smoothed it down. So that's one way. It's going to still rub, but it's not going to have this sharp line right here cutting against the bag itself. So I haven't had any issues with it yet. It's been working for me, honestly. I wanted to sit low, so I just stuck with the stock control arms. You can go ahead and get these adjustable ones. Just beware, you will not sit as low. So that is the first thing to look out for and be cautious of. And the next thing is the fitting placement. So as you guys can see right there, the fitting where the airline is connected to. So super important where you put it. So if you put it somewhere like right here, or maybe right here, or on the other side, that's a big no-no, because when you air this thing down, this upper control arm is going to fully extend, or not extend, but go all the way up when you air out, and it's going to hit the fitting. So the clearance here is not that great. You can see it's like the size of my finger, and right here is not that great either, because it's going to go up. So the best spot to put it is in the back right here, away from the upper control arm. So that way when you air out, it'll have enough clearance to clear it. So that's one thing to keep in mind of. When I first installed this, I didn't even think of that. And when I aired out, it completely broke the fitting, and it was just a hassle. I had to rethread everything, and it was just a headache. So those two are the main things to look out for. I'm not sure about other cars, but for Hondas, that is the two main things for the fronts. The rear is totally fine. You can run it however you want, because it does not have the spindle, or not the spindle, the upper control arm. So yep, those two things, super important in the front. Just keep that in mind. So just really quick, I'm going to show you guys how I ran my airlines through the car. So I guess we'll start off with the front. So front right here. So when you run your airlines, you want to avoid the airlines from hitting or rubbing against anything that moves, such as the wheel or any suspension parts. So if you can see, I zip tied it here away from the bags, from the upper control arm, and it's running in the back here along the wall, the fender well, and then running in right here, zip tied it so it doesn't move, super secured. And then it's going to be running along the side skirt. I don't know if you can see it there, but there's a bracket here for the side skirt. So I just zip tied it to the bracket, super secured, not moving anywhere, all along the side skirt, and it comes through the back here. I don't know if you can see it there. So yeah, it's pretty safe, not too close to the ground. That's one thing you want to look out for, is don't run it too close to the ground to avoid any rocks or anything sharp to puncture the airline. So it's ran through there, and I drilled a hole right here to run it through, right here, all the way through, behind the brake line, all the way through, and I drilled a hole here, and I zip tied it so it doesn't hang low and hit the exhaust and whatnot. And then, as you can see, I drilled a hole right there on the back, so I can stick it through, and it'll go straight to the manifold. So, and like I said, for the rear is super easy. There's no control arm right here hitting the bag. It's just the strut itself. So super easy. I just ran it here, the fitting, all the way down to the back. So the back is the easiest part, and it's pretty much the same for the other side. So as you guys can see, so ran the airline through the back right here along the back, runs all the way up, and then same thing all along the side skirt, and comes out through here, zip tied through the back, and it runs all the way through there to the trunk. And as this side, same thing, super easy, just run it because there's no control arms here, so super easy. And then it comes out through here. So that is it, guys. That is the airlines that is being ran through the car. And then so next, let's go ahead and show you guys how to install the airlines to the manifold there. Alright guys, so I did have to buy another manifold because my old one wasn't working, so I went ahead and bought this one. I got this one from eBay. It cost me around $320. It came with some fittings and it came with a controller, which is pretty neat. It wasn't too expensive nor too cheap. It's pretty much the same as my old one, but this is a brand that I never tried before, which is Switch Suspension. So if you want to get yourself one, I'll post the link down in the description. So I want to show you guys how to run your airlines to these. So it's pretty simple. As you can see, I put fittings on here. It's gonna be the same on this side, so it's gonna look like that. So it doesn't matter which side. I'm gonna be putting them on this side. So let's see. So for these two are gonna be going to the struts. So what I did is I connected both the front struts, which is right here, going to a three-way, and then it's coming out to a one right here, and it's gonna go to one of these. I forgot which one it was. It might be this one. So, and then for the rear, pretty much the same thing for the rear. Both the rear is connected to three-way, going to one, and then it's gonna go to this one. And then for the other side, these two are going to be going to the gauge up front, which I have running right here already, and the other one is right there. So that's pretty much for the gauge and the struts. Only now for the sides. So the sides are going to have an inlet and an exhaust port. So this one right here is the exhaust, and this one is the inlet. I covered this one up because I only needed one. They are on both sides. So right here, right here. I just needed one, so this one is going to go to the tank, which is right there. So, and then for the two exhausts right here, I'm just going to wire them out to the car. They're right here. So, just going out to the car. That's where the air escapes out when you air out, and it's going to have that whoosh sound every time you air out. So that is pretty much it. And the controller is plug and play. So plug and play, just to hook up the positive and the negative, and then just plug in right here, and then that's pretty much it for the manifold. So that is it, guys. Super easy. So I'm going to go ahead and put everything together. I'm going to get that in, and hopefully we should be finished. So let's get to it. So I'm going to show you guys how to wire up your relays to your two compressors, along with the kill switch if you want to run one. So you're going to need two relays, 40 amp 12 volt relays, one for each of the compressors. So I already went ahead and wired up this part. This is the part where they're wired together. So let's start off with the pin 30, which is the bottom. It's gonna all the relays are gonna look like this. So the bottom, which is this one here, that is your pin 30. So you're gonna run an 8 gauge wire because both those compressors together is 40 amps. So you're going to need a wire big enough to handle 40 amps. So I am using 8 gauge. So pretty simple. You're going to run both the pin 30s on each relay and connect it together. So as you can see, this one is connected to pin 30, running all the way across to this relay. So both pin 30s are going to be connected together. And this one, where's it at? Right here. So this one is going to a inline switch with an inline fuse, sorry. Inline fuse with a 30 amp fuse. So, and then this is going to go to the positive on the battery. So that's it for pin 30. Both pin 30s connect together and one goes to the battery. It doesn't matter which one, anyone is fine. So now that you get the 30 out the way, which is the two bottoms, now let's move on to the left side, which is this pin right here. This is pin, can't see. Alright, so this is pin 86, this one here. So same thing, you're going to run a wire. This is a 10 gauge because this one's going to the pressure switch on the tank. So this one, the left side of the pin, the relay is going to connect to this side, or any side, doesn't really matter, just connect them together. And then one is going to go out to the, let me see if I can show you, the pressure switch right there. So any of those pins are fine. So that is the left side. So both of the left side, which is 86, going to go to connect together, and one of them is going to go to one of the pins on their pressure switch. So that is it. That is connecting both of these together. So now let's take a look at the other pins. So as you can see, the compressor will have a red and black wire. So let's start off with the red. So your red wire is a positive wire. So that is going to connect to one of the relays, and it's going to be the top one, which is this one here, and that is pin 87, the top one. And then your other relay is going to go to that one, and that pin 87 is going to go to the red wire on your compressor. And then what I did for the negative, so I connected two wires together, or I connected a wire, and these going to be ground. So it's going to look like that. And then this one is going to go to the last pin, which is the right one right here, which is 85. There you go. Now you can see it. This one here. So that's going to be ground. So just connect the negative, which I already connected these two together. I'm going to go with a pin 87, right? 85, my bad. 85. And then same with that side. And that is pretty much it for the relays and running the wires for the compressors. Now for the kill switch, it's pretty easy. It's kind of dark in here. So the kill switch, which I have right here, it's going to be two wires that's on the kill switch. So you're going to run both the wires to the back. One of the wires, any of the wires, is going to be a positive, and you're going to run a inline fuse with and then you're going to run a 15 amp fuse into your inline fuse holder, and that's going to go to the battery. And then the next wire on the kill switch is going to go to the other pin on the pressure switch on the tank. So that is pretty much it for the wiring. Super simple. So once your tank is filled up, go ahead and air up the car, and then check if you have air leaks on your struts and all the other fittings. So I got soapy water right here. I'm just gonna check the fitting, make sure there's no leaks. A way to tell if there's a leak, if it's bubbling. So this side is good. I don't see any leaks. So I'm gonna check this side. There's it all the way in there. Kind of hard to get in there, but I don't know if you can see it. It's like all the way in there. But from the looks of it, looks good. So just go ahead and check all four corners, and then check your gauge, and then check the manifold. And if there's no leaks, then you're good. And you can go ahead and put on your wheels, clean everything up, and then drop her down. So go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and check everything out, make sure everything's good, and hopefully we can drop her on the floor. So let's go. Alright guys, so the car is finally done. I went ahead and checked all the fittings, made sure there was no air leaks, and we are good. I made sure the compressor's turned on along with the kill switch, and it does. So we are pretty much done. I got everything all bolted down. Everything is good. So right now the car is currently aired up, and I'm going to show you guys how it looks aired down. So let's get in the car. Alright guys, so we are in the car, and this is my controller to air the car up and down. So since I only did the front and rear together, for this controller you're only going to need this one and this one, or if you want to do all of them, it's the middle. So this is just the front, and this is the rear, and this is all front and the rear. So just click down, that's going to air down. Click up, and that's going to air up. So let's go ahead and air this thing down. Alright guys, there you have it. The car is officially on air suspension. Not too bad. I did have to camber the rear a little bit because I did put on some spacers to have that good fitment. So those are the spacers, and it looks pretty good. This is the rear. So I'm going to air it up, and I'm going to show you guys the compressors turning on. So as you can see, the car is aired down. It is at 0 psi. So now when I air this thing up, the needles will go up and the compressors won't turn on until I flip the switch. So I'm going to go ahead and air it up first. And then the rear, just like that. So I don't know if you heard that click on the compressor switch, but it did turn on, but it's not turning on because the kill switch is on the off position. So when I turn this up on the on position, the compressors will turn on. So alright guys, so that is it for this video. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and comment down below. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.